Well, good evening, everybody. Hello. I'm here for my second round of live stream madness today. Hi, Dave. The notification came through. That's awesome. Hi, Dawn. Hey, Mitchell. All right. Well, I rarely do this where I just go for hey, just give me your requests and I'll see if I can play them, or maybe I can play a song of them, I know the few people who are on the chat know quite a bit of my catalog, so I'm sure you can pull from that. But yeah, I just wanted to do at least an hour of music just from what everybody wants to hear. So what do you got? What do you guys want to hear? Okay, Goo Goo Dolls. Or could you whisper in my ear the things you want to feel? I'll give you anything to feel it coming. Do you wake up on my own? Wonder where you are, live with all your faults. I want to wake up where you are. I won't say anything at all. So why don't you slide? Yeah, let it slide. Don't you love the life you killed? The priest is on the phone. Your father hit the wall. Your ma disowned you. I don't suppose I'll ever know what it means to be a man. It's something I can change. I'll live around it. I want to wake up where you are. I won't say anything at all. So why don't you slide? Do anything you ever dream to be complete. Little pieces of nothing that fall. Oh, May, put your arms around me. What you feel is what you are, and what you are is beautiful. Oh, May, you wanna get married or run away? I'd do anything you ever dreamed to be complete. Little pieces of nothing that fall. Oh, May, put your arms around me. And what you feel is what you are, and what you are is beautiful. Oh, May, you wanna get married or run away? And I'll do anything you ever dreamed to be complete. Little pieces of nothing that fall. Oh, and I'll do anything you ever dreamed to be complete. Little pieces of nothing that fall. I gotta learn that very last part of the song. I don't know that part, but oh, cool. Gin Blossoms. You know, Gin Blossoms I heard because of my sister and her CD collection in the 90s, and I always loved it, and I don't think I've ever learned a Gin Blossom song. What they have, like Addison Road or Allison Road? It's Allison Road, right? They were a great band. I'll put that on the list. Counting Crows. Okay. Do I know anything besides... Oh, you know what song I kind of know? We could try it. That's going to be one of the things about this request hour is I'm going to possibly just try some songs that I never play. All right, here we go. We can do that better. She sat right down on the sofa. So where have you been? I've been waiting for you. So last night I had something so good. These days get so long, I got nothing to do. Been hanging around this town on the corner. I've been bumming around this old town so long. I've been hanging around this town on the corner. I've been bumming around this old town for way too long. We spend all day getting sober, just hiding from daylight, watching TV. We just look a lot better in the blue light. You know I gotta get out, but I'm stuck so tight, way by the chains that keep me hanging around this town on the corner. I've been bumming around this old town so long. Been hanging around this town on the corner. I've been bumming around this old town for way, way too long. It's a half-baked idea. All good. Toad. Oh, we're just going full 90s. All right. Trying to figure out if I should be doing this. What key? Okay. Spotted the ocean, the head of the trail. But where are we going? We're so far away. Somebody told me that this is the place where everything's better and everything's safe. Walk on the ocean, step on the stone, flesh become water, wood become bone. Half hour later, we packed up our things. We said we'd send letters and all of those little things. They knew we were lying, but they smiled just the same. It seemed they'd already forgotten we came. Walk on the ocean, step on the stone, flesh become water, wood become bone. Now back at the homestead, where the air makes you choke, where people don't know you and trust is a joke. Don't even have pictures, just memories to hold. Grow sweeter each season as we slowly grow old. Walk on the ocean, step on the stone, flesh become water, wood become bone. Walk on the ocean, step on the stone, flesh become water, wood become bone. What's up, dude? Great to have you, man. My Memphis friend. You came here. That's awesome. Yes, this is a all request hour. So I'm just going to play songs that you all want to hear if I know them. Or artists. Songs or artists. Hey, Dave, I was going to tell you. So I've really tried to work hard on the Robert Cray song. And I kind of got it complete. And then I played it just on my own, and I was like, oh, there's just certain songs that I just can't do justice to. and that's one of those. It's like I want to be able to play it to, because you requested it so long ago, and you mean so much to me, so I want to like play the songs that you want to hear, but it is just like so out of my my range that I really struggle with it. And part of it is I wish I played electric. I don't even think my electric is even working very well right now, because it would be such a better song to do on electric. But I just wanted you to know, like, I put work into it, and then it was just like, it's not ready. And I'm not sure I could do it. I want to hear you do it, man. I don't mean to cop out on it, but with your style, I'm like, you would kill that song. So I'm gonna take it and throw it back at you for you to do. No, any Blue October, preferably Hate Me. I've never even heard of Blue October. Let me add it to the list. Yeah, Dawn, the struggle's real. Okay, hold on. Blue October, Hate Me. Okay, I'm going to add it to my playlist of songs to learn. Great. I'm kidding about what? Okay, I'll keep working on it. I'll keep working on it, my friend. Yeah. Dawn, what are you asking if I'm kidding about? If I knew who Blue October is? Should I know who Blue October is? Let me see if I can play it away from the mic so it doesn't get picked up on the live stream. I seriously don't know who that is. And I'm feeling really, really dumb for not knowing who they are. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I have a pretty vast knowledge of music because I DJ'd for so many years. I can't remember one person asking me to play a song by Blue October. Like either put it in a playlist or on the spot or anything like that. Huh. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'm totally will listen to him. Is this like asking me like if I like know who the Counting Crows are? Are they that big that it's like absolutely ridiculous that I would know who these people are? Oh, maybe too emo? Yeah. Okay, so obviously I can't do Blue October. Anything else? Any other songs you guys want to hear? I can also pick too if it's too much pressure. Oh yeah, Humphreys McGee. Big news last week. They lost their drummer, which is Chris Myers is a huge part of their sound. I've seen them many times over the years, and it's funny. Anytime I've watched them, my eyes are on Chris Myers the whole time. Chris Myers. So first of all, if you don't know who Humphreys McGee is, they're a band that's kind of in the jam band genre, except they're really like prog rock, but they improvise, so they're kind of put into that jam band category, and they're a band of just like phenomenal musicians, and they've had this drummer. He actually wasn't their original drummer. Their original drummer was this guy named Mike Miro, but when Mike left, Chris Myers came in, and he is like one of the most amazing drummers. There's kind of rumors floating around. I don't know how true it is that he's going to be the next Foo Fighters drummer. I don't know if that's true or not. But yeah, that's a huge loss for them to lose Chris Myers. Also, Chris Myers is sneakily the best singer in the band. Yeah, he's amazing. Okay, every morning, Shakedown Street. Let's get away from 90s just for a second. Let's do Shakedown Street's a great one. town ain't got no heart. Well, you could never tell. Sunny side of the street is dark. Well, you could never tell. Maybe that's 'cause it's midnight in the dark of the moonbeam sides. Maybe the dark is from your eyes. 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 You know you got such dark eyes. Woo! Nothing shaking on Shakedown Street. Used to be the heart of town. Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. Just gotta poke around. You think you've seen this town clear through? Well, you could never tell. Nothing here that could interest you. Well, you could never tell. It's not because you missed out on the things that we had to start. Maybe you had too much too fast. 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 You just overplayed your part. Woo! Nothing shaking on Shakedown Street. Used to be the heart of town. Don't tell me this town ain't got no hearts. Just gotta poke around. Since I passed in your way today, well, you could never tell. Just stopped in 'cause I want to say, well, you could never tell. I recall your darkness when it crackled like a thundercloud. Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. 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 Well, I can hear it beat out loud. Woo! Nothing shaking on Shakedown Street. Used to be the heart of town. Don't tell me this town ain't got no heart. Just gotta poke around. shaking on Shakedown Street. Nothing shaking on Shakedown Street. Nothing shaking on Shakedown Street. Nothing shaking on Shakedown Street. Hey, Mitchell, remind me, where are you located again? I think I've mentioned this before on live stream way back in the day. Some of you newer people might not know this. My wife and her entire family survived the Indonesia Tsunami in 2000. What was that? December of 2004. They were on vacation in Thailand, and they were on Phi Phi Island, and sure enough, her mom and dad and brother-in-law and sister were on the beach when the wave hit, so they got actually swept up in the wave. But my wife and her brother were just in town, and they saw locals start running to there's like a mountain behind the town, started running to the mountain, and they just like took off and ran with the people, even though they had like no idea what was happening. And so my wife and her brother got up the mountain before the water got to them. And her dad pretty much almost drowned. He got saved by a kid from New Zealand who pulled him out of the water. Her mom got up on the top of a hotel, and her brother and sister got caught behind debris that was actually holding the water back from them, but they were like trapped in like a hut that had collapsed. It sounds crazy. Like, I know I'm like just kind of bringing it up casually, but it's a true story. In fact, if anybody's ever seen the movie The Impossible, that movie's not about my wife's family, but it's like pretty much the same story of my wife's family. And yeah, they were like they're all Canadian, so they were on like Canadian national news afterwards. But yeah, they survived. You talk about a natural disaster. It's one of the deadliest natural disasters in the history of the world, and my in-laws were in it. So it's crazy. And I grew up moving around my whole life. I certainly have no kind of story that compares to that, but I definitely had fair share of like tornado warnings, especially, when I lived in like Texas and Tennessee and some of those places. Actually, Ohio, when I lived in Cincinnati, Ohio, we had a major tornado that came through our town, and it missed our house. It was like kind of on the other side of this town we lived in, Loveland, Ohio, if you've heard of it. Crazy. There was another thing that was requested before I played Shakedown Street. What was that? Let me look back up. I don't remember. Yo, Cup of Corn. Hey friend. Welcome back here. I love I don't know what your real name is, but I love your screen name. I would love it if you were just your name was Cup of Corn. Eyes of the World? Sure. I kind of know it. Again, welcome to All Request Hour. I'm just going to play requests today during our hour we have with each other. Right outside this lazy summer home, you ain't got time to call your soul a critic, no. Right outside the lazy gate of winter summer's home, wondering where the nut-thatched winter's wings a mile long just carry the bird away. Wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world. The heart has its beaches, its homelands, and thoughts of its own. Wake now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. But the heart has its seasons, its evenings, and songs of its own. There comes a redeemer, he slowly too fades away. Follows his wagon behind him that's loaded with clay. And the seeds that were silent all burst into bloom and decay. And night comes so quiet, it's close on the heels of the day. Wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world. The heart has its beaches, its homelands, and thoughts of its own. Wake now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. Heart has its seasons, its evenings, and songs of its own. no particular way but our own. Sometimes we visit your country and live in your home. Sometimes we ride on your horses. Sometimes we walk alone. Sometimes the songs we hear are just songs of our own. Wake up to find out that you are the eyes of the world. Heart has its beaches, its homelands, and thoughts of its own. Wake now, discover that you are the song that the morning brings. Heart has its seasons, its evening, and songs of its own. We should add that one to the regular rotation of songs. I never think about playing that song. So, yeah. I still I kind of know it. What I really need to learn in that song is all of the Jerry soloing. For you guitar players out there, hey Aaron, speaking of, Jerry, there's been a lot of breakdowns about Jerry Garcia's playing. He was a tremendous player, and his specialty was being like a rock guitarist heavily influenced by jazz and bluegrass. So on a song like that, here's a little music lesson. That song is primarily in the key of E major 7th, so you have a regular E, which is E major, and then E major 7th is that. So it's based off like that. So you have the 7th, which is an E flat or D sharp in the key of E. So if you're thinking of soloing, and I don't recommend thinking in the way of scales when you solo, but a lot of people do. What Jerry did a lot of, especially on a song like Eyes of the World, that's has that major 7th thing, is he would hang out on that major 7th note. So he was doing like a lot of kind of that kind of stuff. I'm not very good at soloing like Jerry did, but that was kind of like what he sort of brought. Also, I'm sure many of you know this, but Jerry was missing a middle finger on his picking hand. So he did a lot with 9 fingers. Jack Johnson. Yeah, I know a Jack Johnson song. To say what's impossible will they forget? This world keeps spinning, and in each new day I can feel a change in everything. And as the surface breaks, reflections fade, but in some way they remain the same. And as my mind begins to spread its wings, there's no stopping curiosity. I wanna turn the whole thing upside down. I'll find the things they say just can't be found. I'll share this love I'll find with everyone. We'll sing and dance to Mother Nature's song. Don't want this feeling to go away. Who's to say I can't do everything? Well, I can't try. And as I roll along, begin to find there aren't always just what they seem. I wanna turn the whole thing upside down. I find things that say just can't be found. I'll share this love I find with everyone. We'll sing and dance to Australia's songs. This will keep singing, there's no time to waste. But I'll keep spinning, spinning, spinning round and round, upside down. Who's to say what just can't be found? Want this feeling to go away. Yes, it's always a good day when my buddy Nolabai shows up. Speaking of amazing musicians. Hey, I wanted to comment on the soloing thing and on the guitar soloing thing. I appreciate what you wrote there, Aaron, about, still trying to understand solos and getting better. Yeah, and super important, the very last thing you said, I can at least almost play the notes I want as opposed to meandering. So I am a rhythm player at heart. If I was to be placed into a band and there was a strong musicianship on all ends, they would definitely place me as rhythm. And I was just drawn to rhythm earlier. I think I've said this to you guys, but I've always felt like I'm a drummer who can't play drums. I feel the pocket, like I feel the groove, and it's by far my strength when it comes to music is rhythm, and I know that. But being a looping guy, like I've had to learn how to solo, and of course, I was briefly in music school, so when you're in music school, you're like transcribing jazz solos, like John Coltrane solos and all that kind of stuff, or because my particular mode of study was jazz in my brief time at school. But I say all of that to be like, I think my development around soloing has been, how do I get away from fear with soloing? Because I think often people are soloing to try to avoid wrong notes. So they stick to scales, right? Because you kind of know, if you know the scale of the key you're in, you're most likely, if the song stays within the key, you're going to be fine. But of course, what that does is makes really boring solos if you're just playing variations of scales. I started. I came across this Instagram video of, maybe some of you have seen it. It's Victor Wooten, who's the bass player for the Flecktones, and he's playing with this guitar player. It looks like it's at NAMM, one of those, or is it called NAMM? The conventions, the music gear conventions. It looks like he's playing at that because it's at a booth, and he has the guitar player just play a looped funk chord. So the guitar player's going he's just doing that over and over again. And Victor has his bass, and he's talking about how he's what is he saying? He goes, people people don't hire me to play the right notes. They hire me to play the groove. He goes, all of you out, you can't see the audience that's watching them in this particular video, but he's like, you guys aren't dancing to the notes that are being played. You're dancing to the groove. And he goes, so what I'm going to do is play every wrong note over these chords. So, say it was E minor. In fact, they were playing in E minor. I don't know what key they were playing in. He plays all of the notes that should clash in the key of E minor. Sorry if this is getting a tiny bit boring for people, but a little music theory. In the key of E minor, it's the G major scale. So it's G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. So that's in the E minor, the relative minor of G is E minor. So those are the notes. So he plays like all of the notes that aren't in that scale and is just grooving on it. So like what he's doing is basically so he's just like starting to put a groove in it, and he's like, let's see, what would be a run? Of course, when I do it, it sounds terrible, but if you watch it, he's just like so in the pocket in the groove that it sounds great, even though the notes harmonically clash with each other. His point being is like, don't think of music as wrong and right notes. That was a famous Miles Davis quote. Miles Davis once said, there are no wrong notes. I think it was, there are no wrong notes, there's only unintentional notes or something like that. Some variation of that. So I have a guitar student I'm working with right now that I'm teaching, and I'm kind of trying to instill, he's a high school guy, and I'm trying to kind of instill that in him, is like, how can you get away from, I'm just going to avoid playing wrong notes. So anyway, I could talk about this stuff for days. The magical thing happened to me several months ago. I started to hear the notes before I play them. Oh, that's huge, right? Because the other point about all of this is not just to think of music as a groove, but honestly, think of music as a language. Like, think of it as your instrument is literally talking. And so, how does that translate as human beings who have conversations with each other? If our mouths were the music instruments that we're trying to play, like, what would that look like? I mean, right now I'm doing a monologue, so I don't really have anything. I mean, I'm bouncing off of original thought question, but like, I love that idea of like thinking of what we do is what we're trying to say, which I think is really where you're getting at, Dave, with what you just said about the like hearing the notes, because you're thinking of the words before you're saying it, and that's great. How about some Red Hot Chili Peppers before the stream's done? Okay. Yeah, totally, dude. Okay, Red Hot Chili Peppers. What song should we do? I think I know like two that I can actually play. I could play either Under the Bridge or Scar Tissue. I would probably think that most people want to hear Scar Tissue, because probably tired of hearing Under the Bridge. That's all I know. Oh, I played keys in a band recently that did Give It Away, but I don't know the song very well. Yeah, Give It Emotion. I went through a real interesting phase at one point of where I was like intentionally trying to play wrong notes when I was soloing. I was much younger, so I was like a little bit more ambitious at that point. But I was listening to a lot of Modeski, Martin Wood. That's like a jazz funk trio, and they are like masters of playing all the notes, but playing very dissonance type of stuff, especially John Modeski on the keys. And they like seeped into my playing. Of course, I didn't have their level of musicianship, but I was just starting to like do all these things, and all these ideas were coming to me when I was just like intentionally trying to play in wrong keys and all that. I was like, oh, that kind of sounds cool. I felt like I was a jazz musician for just a brief second. By the way, I promise I'll play Scar Tissue. Aaron, I rarely catch any of Matt's live streams. The only time I really catch them is before I come on. I want to make sure that he's not live streaming or somebody else is not. And but I caught a little bit of his today, and I haven't heard him in a while. And I caught him doing because I kind of like scrubbed through the live stream, and I landed on him doing Birds of a Feather by Fish, which he does a phenomenal, I mean, everything he does is phenomenal, obviously, but he does a phenomenal version of that song. And I had forgotten how good of a guitar player Matt is. Because most of what I've seen of him is like building up the loops and all that. He can shred. Man, he just killed that solo on Birds of a Feather. I was like, whoa, buddy. That was great. It makes me just yearn to be an electric guitar player because it's so much easier to solo on electric guitar than acoustic. But yeah, Matt's awesome. Okay, Scar Tissue. Where's E? He's the resident RHCP fan. I'm down with that joke. Scar tissue that I wish you saw. Sarcastic Mr. Know-It-All. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you, 'cause with the birds I'll share. The birds I'll share this lonely view. The birds I'll share this lonely view. Push me up against the wall, a young Kentucky girl in a push-up bra. Falling all over myself to lick your heart and taste your hell, 'cause I share this lonely view. With the birds I share this lonely view. Through saw this other girl with the scarlet draw. Wave goodbye to Ma and Pa, 'cause with the birds I'll share. With the birds I'll share this lonely view. 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 Soft spoken with a broken jaw. Step outside but not to brawl. Autumn sweet we call it fall. I'll make it to the moon if I have to crawl. And with the birds I'll share this lonely view. With the birds I'll share this lonely view. Scar tissue that I wish you saw. Sarcastic, just know it all. Close your eyes and I'll kiss you. With the birds I'll share. That's a very, very cool song. Hi, Robert Gregory. Hello. All right, friends. I think that's going to do it for today for me. And this next week is going to be interesting. I will be here between Monday and Thursday. And then we head to the caves next weekend in Tennessee. We're flying out to the caverns to go to, I think it's called Cave Jam with the String Cheese Instant and a bunch of bands that we're so stoked to see in what I think is going to be a magical venue. So it should be really fun. So I'll be gone next weekend, and then I think the weekend after that, or maybe 2 weekends after that, I've got a couple gigs that will be fun to try to live stream as well, especially with this new mixer, which is amazing, by the way. If you're a musician, looper guy, or just a regular musician in general, I love this new Allen and Heath CQ20B mixer. It's the better version of the Behringer XR18 is kind of what it is. Well worth the purchase. I have just absolutely loved it, and I think my sounds better. I don't know if you guys would agree with that, but it's been really, really cool. So anyway, TN Texie, hello. Yeah, this is my ADHD in total form. Is I think I talked a while about doing a rig rundown, and then I completely forgot about doing it. Yeah, we're kind of due for that, so I definitely need to do that. Well, I'm sorry, new people are showing up, and I'm gonna take off now. My wife and I are very much into the show Righteous Gemstones. We are late comers to watching that show, so we're gonna go watch that for a while. But again, thank you everybody, and have a amazing rest of the night, and stay safe, especially with the weather, and also be sure to tune in my buddy Nolabai and Aaron, especially the two of their live streams. They're fantastic people. So, all right, see you, buddy. I said, see you, buddy? I don't know why I said that. See you, buddies. See ya.